All righty.
Okay.
Good.
Our guest today is Alex Carvajal, originally from Venezuela. 6 years ago, he made the leap as an international student to improve his English in Australia. He's been living and working there ever since. Alex, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the introduction. I really appreciate it.
So I want to get started with basically, you're in Venezuela. What makes you want to go to Australia?
It's a good question. So when I was in Venezuela, I was working for Deloitte. I was doing auditing, and to be honest, it wasn't something that I was enjoying. I just did it. Was enjoying. I just did it because like society as a whole, pressure that you need to have a career. And I was like, and my mom, you need to study something, you need to do something. And I did it. So I did it. I found a job and I worked. But I was at the same time, I was like, look, I'm working really hard and doing all this stuff, but I think I'm not getting any fulfillment out of it. So, and one day I watched a movie called The Rebound of Catherine Zeta-Jones and another guy. And this guy, I mean, this guy met an older lady, and then they break up, and the guy started traveling the world. And I was like, Jesus, I want to be like that guy. So, because I was like, in my cage in Venezuela, I was like, I should do something else. So I decided I traveled that time. Then I traveled again, and again, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna leave Venezuela. That was 6 years ago. It was bad, but it's not as bad as it's right now. So and I left. So at that point, I met my girlfriend. So and I said to her, look, seriously, I don't want any commitment or any relationship because I'm leaving the country in like, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months. And she said, yes, no problem. Okay, cool. So then the idea of leaving Australia or live in Venezuela become like a common goal. So, and we both decide to work on the same goal, and that's actually how we help each other to come to Australia. So, and that's why I actually came, pretty much.
And how old were you when you decided? How old were you when you moved?
I decided when I was 23, but I left when I was 24. So but it's still, now that I see I'm 30 and I see myself at that time, I was like, wow, I was very immature, but I did it. So it was like a burning desire inside me that actually wanted to leave. It didn't know where or why, but it just wanted to leave. And I just followed that burning desire. That's it.
And had you traveled before that outside of Venezuela?
Sorry, what's the question?
Uh-huh. Before you decided to go, before that, or when that desire started coming inside of you, had you been outside of Venezuela? Had you left to another country?
Oh, yes. Before I went to Brazil, but only in America. So like as a continent. So I went to Brazil, I went to Aruba, I went to Mexico, United States, and it was kind of the same thing all over the place, like same culture, same people, different languages, but same thing. So then I was like, there should be something else, and also have like this curiosity of going to the other side of the world. I think everybody has it. So like experiencing what is like Asia like. So and I came to Australia, which is the closest things to Asia that you can come.
So how did you end up choosing Australia?
Well, I have three choices at that point, three options. So one was United States, the other one was Canada, the other one Ireland, and Australia. So United States wasn't very exciting to me at that point. I was like, yeah, but I want something more. So, and also because I want to improve my English, I was like, maybe United States is not the best place to do it because there are many Spanish speakers over there. So Canada, well, it's too cold. So Ireland is, I don't know, quite old a little bit. And then I saw Australia. Australia was like, they were opening to people who works in finance and open to immigration. And I was like, okay, I jump in. And that's why I came here. And also because it was far away. I went to go far away, as far as possible, to experience, to have a real experience. What's going on the other side, what people are looking at, what people are thinking, what people see. So that's why.
Did you speak any English before you had gone to Australia?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Well, you met me, so my English like 4 years ago wasn't probably that good, and it's still improving. But yeah, when I came, I didn't. And also the rough English that I had was the one from the United States, which is a little bit different in terms of the accent in here. So for me, it was like, wow, this is tough. Like I was used to like a sort of an accent and a way of speaking. Over here is different. So, but I learned it. So it's actually easy after you get the patterns and stuff.
Yeah, it just blows my mind. It's so funny hearing you speak with, you still have your Latin accent, but then you
Yes.
have that like your Australian accent comes out. And it's so funny like hearing both of them because I'm so used to, Latinos in the United States. So you don't sound like them and it's so funny.
Yeah, yeah, it could be. But funny, like it's just a thing. So, for example, some words I pronounce it in Australian English, but other words I pronounce it in American English. So I had this year I started working with a speech pathologist because one of the things that we want, or I want, is like to have a stable accent, like without confusions. Like for example, I said, I don't know, I don't have an example. I said, I feel better. It doesn't make sense. Oh, if you combine American with Australian, you actually people what? So and that's why, and also as a Spanish speaker, so I have some stuff that I have to improve. So, and I decided to do it. And also I got inspiration from Arnold Schwarzenegger. He did it too. So I was like, oh, he did it, I'll do it again as well. So, yes.
That guy is inspiring though. He was just like, no, all I have to do is get strong and I'll go to the US. And then he's just like, he got strong and went to the US and he became an actor and went into the government. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, that's funny you said that because it's interesting. Everything is about decisions. So you could have the talent, the skills to be successful, really. But it's not about the talent. It's not about the skills. It's about that you at some point in your life took the decision to change your life. So I give you an example. So during when the pandemic started, I was like, Jesus, what am I gonna do? So I have no business, I have nothing. So, and before I decided to study, I was like so not in a panic, but like so yeah, I have anxiety and uncertainty as well. And I found a job as an essential worker, like driving a forklift. I was like, wow, doing it early morning. I did it for about 2 or 3 weeks. And when I was doing it, I was like, you know what, man, I don't know what I'm doing here. I need to get out of my comfort zone and take decisions and change my life. So, and that's the thing. So even though I knew at that point I had the skills, I had the talent to be the person that I wanted to be, if I wanted to be that person, I need to take decisions. And I took the decision of, you know what, I don't know if they're gonna if that my landlord is gonna evict me out of my place because I don't pay the rent or I won't pay the rent, but I'm gonna leave this place. So, and it's about taking decisions. Decisions are super important. Yes.
100%. I love that story. Thanks for sharing that.
That's okay.
So, so everything starts with a decision. Going back, you decided to go to Australia. Now, you said that okay, they're open to immigration, but was this heard of before? Did you know of any Venezuelans that had gone to Australia? Like, where did the process begin of actually figuring out how to go there and getting there?
So, well, when you see the photos of Australia, you see like surfing, beaches everywhere, and I mean, it looks awesome. But when you get to the city I live, you're in winter most of the time. So, but the thing over there was I didn't know anyone before coming to Australia. Like no one. The only person that I roughly met was someone that a friend of mine back in Venezuela said, "Hey, look, she lived in Australia. You should text her on WhatsApp or I don't know. It wasn't WhatsApp. It was Facebook." That was the only person. So, and I didn't know about it was a Venezuelan community or Latin community. I didn't know anything, like nothing. So yeah, I just came. And funny, that girl that I sent the message, she replied me 4 years after. 4 years after. and it's funny because I say, "Hey, how are you?" 4 years ago, 6 years ago, I say, "Hey, how are you? I really want to go to Australia, and look, I don't know. I know no one. If you could, like, I don't know, just tell me where should I rent a place, need to the city, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what was the question that I asked." And after 4 years, she replies, say, "Hey, Alex. Oh, sorry that I didn't answer. I hope everything's okay." Yeah, everything is fine, but luckily I wasn't expecting, or some people also are waiting for something to happen. So if I wouldn't base my decision based on that conversation, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. I would be somewhere else. So that's my thing.
So, did you need a visa to go to Australia?
Yeah. I got my student visa. Student visa.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was a funny story as well because when I came, I enrolled for a master's degree. So I enrolled for the master's degree and also an English course. So then I arrived to Australia, all fine. I have my visa for 3 years. And then suddenly, when I got into the classroom to learn English, I was like, this is a joke, really, because I mean at that point I was trying to actually move fast because I didn't have money, so I didn't have that. Not having money was my main motivation to actually improve my English, because I have like I brought like I don't know 2,000 or something dollars, and they were gone in like a week, like gone in rent, food, my key, all the stuff were gone. So then I was like, I need to improve my English in order to find a job or to do something. So when I go into the classroom, they would say like blue, yellow. I was like, Jesus, no. Because when you go on in the street, everybody was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" Super fast, super fast. And I was like, this is not gonna work. What should I do? So I decided to start on my own, to study on my own, and I quit from that course. It's supposed to be 7 months, and I did 3 months. And the other 4 months, I didn't. I just worked. I was like, I'm not gonna pay that. I'm not gonna do that course. So I was on the edge of getting kicked out of Australia, really. Also, I decided no, I don't want to pay that, and I found a job. It was very interesting. Then I found the opportunity to get a visa, as a working visa, and then the opportunity is just story. And then I decided also to start my own path and as an entrepreneur. And yeah, see, here I am. So now I live in Australia for the time being.
So that 7 months of that English course, that was part of what was going to be your master's program?
Yes, yeah. So the master program was for 2 years, and this one
Mm-hmm.
was for 7 months. So the visa was about 3 years or something.
Yeah.
So I remember, this is so funny. I remember, so the day, I mean, I got my new visa, like, I don't know, today. And I got the notification from the university, like a week later saying, hey, we're going to cancel your visa, la, 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 la. Do it. I don't care. Because I stopped going, literally going. I didn't go anymore. So, and then because also I didn't start the master, they wanted to cancel my visa. So I said, you can do it. There is no visa anymore. So I am in another visa. So it was actually, but now it sounds like a joke, but honestly, for 7 months, I was like super scared, like full of fear. I was like, Jesus. And I was working like a crazy man to actually get some money to go to Asia. I was like, you know what? If I have to go, I'll go. I don't care. So that was my mind. But apparently, Australia want me to stay, and I don't know exactly why, and so I'm here.
Um, so when you decided to do the master's degree, I mean, I don't have any idea about how much that costs, but I would imagine that Venezuela's cost of living and how much you can make money in Venezuela is a lot less than in Australia. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, yes, you're right. Yes.
So what about the schooling? Was the schooling expensive? Like, were you like, was there a point where like, how am I going to pay for this? Or you had a plan or?
Well, my plan was no plan. So the only plan that I had was, okay, I'm not gonna pay for that master's degree. So I had to be creative and find a way to not get to that point that I have to pay. There was my main goal with it. So and
Sorry,
huh?
sorry, sorry.
No, that's okay.
My phone got a call, so we'll just
Yeah,
back up and edit that out. So,
no,
so
that's okay.
your plan was no plan. Go ahead.
Yeah, no plan to pay the master. So then the master, that's it. That was the plan. So it wasn't that expensive. I mean, if I see it now, it depends. Everything is cheap or expensive depending on the point of view, right? If I see it from Venezuela point of view, I was like, Jesus, that's a lot of money. But if I see it now, it wasn't too bad. But I still, today, I wouldn't pay. So it was about 40 or 50,000 for the whole master. It was a good amount of money.
That's a
It's a
lot.
lot, a lot. So
Yeah.
like you could probably go all over the world just with that amount of money, or you can pay 1,000 specializations online for that money. Easy, easy, easy. So yeah, at the point I was like, I don't have the money really to pay it, and all the money that I was having was the money that I made working. Like I had like 10 jobs, no, not 10 jobs, like 3 jobs. So, but because that was my mind, I was like, do I really want to make this money in a massive degree that is gonna cost me a lot of money and probably gonna give me more work? I was like, probably no. So, and actually didn't I at that point I was like, not gonna give me any added value. The only added value that's gonna give me is a certification. So that was I decided not to get it. And also, most people that come to Australia and do master degrees because of the visa. So at that point, I didn't need the visa anymore. So that's why.
Did they not have a working holiday visa for Venezuelans?
Mm. No, otherwise it would be full of Venezuelans here. No.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. That is not. That is not. That is not. That is not for. Only for some countries in Latin America, but not for Venezuela. So, unfortunately, no, we don't have any.
Okay, so then you got a job that sponsored you?
Yeah. So basically, yes, we got the job that sponsor us. So and then, yeah, that's it. So we got the requirements. I was working for 2 years. and then you got the opportunity to get a visa, to get the permanent resident visa, and that's it. So here we are, still actually. So the process had delayed a little bit, so we're still waiting for the answer of the permanent visa. We're still in the region visa, so but that's what it is.
So you're on a what visa right now?
Region visa, to be permanent resident.
Okay.
So it takes a lot of time. It's like, I don't know, 2 years, 2-3 years or something. Just waiting for it. Yes.
So is your goal to have like an Australian passport?
Good question. Good question. Maybe not, because maybe it depends. So my family, this is a personal thing. So I put things in a balance. So my parents live in Miami with my sister, and my other sister, she's in Canada right now. So because it has been like 6 years already living in another country, I was like, wow, I don't know if I actually want to be this far away. So what I did was, while I was here, I also applied for the Canadian visa, for the Canadian permanent visa. So I did it this year in April, just to see what happened. And I'm waiting an answer from the Canadian immigration system too. So if it happened to be the Canadian one first, I'll go to Canada, no doubt about it. So but apparently if I have to stay in Australia, I'd stay. If I have the opportunity to get the passport, yeah, why not? But honestly, it's not something that now with the COVID, it's actually gave me the opportunity to understand that you can actually be anywhere. So I can easily have a business in Australia and not necessarily be in Australia. You can have a business in Asia and not necessarily be in Asia. So that's the thing that I actually learned. So that's why.
Yeah, how amazing is that? And you're learning that with your current business, or is that something that you got from your training, or how did you make that realization?
It's a bit of both. So basically, the first one was when I started doing the platform. So we get outsourcing. So for example, I got a guy from Russia to help us with the server with Amazon AWS. My co-founder, he was in Geneva, and he lived in Australia, but then he left for Geneva for a job. And we were working with guys from India as well. So this idea of remote working, it was kind of familiar for me anyway. So, but now, I mean, for me it was familiar, but for many people it wasn't. Everybody, or most people, want to see people face to face, not like Zoom meeting. So, but now with the new thing, so everything's happening. Almost things are happening through video call or video conference. So, for instance, the two clients that I have now, so they were, all the conversations have been through Zoom meetings. So, and I was like, maybe I don't need to be here. That's one of the other questions that I have. But who knows? So at the end of the day, I have these decisions, the passion to do it, but I go with the flow. So if the flow decides to go in this way, I'll go that way. So that's it.
Okay, so follow-up question on something you said earlier. You said that there was no fulfillment when you were in Venezuela. Do you feel like that you found fulfillment? Is it something that stays with you, or you have to keep continuing to, I don't know, look for it or have it?
Well, the first thing was to define fulfillment. Okay, so actually, I discovered what was fulfillment a couple of months ago. When I started doing the Tony Robbins coaching. So I was like, what is fulfillment, and why do you do this? And then for me, doing exercise, for example, was, I like it, but at the same time, I was like, always like, wow, but look, if I do too much exercise, I'm working less, so that shouldn't be good. So, but I like this too, and I like this too as well. So what should I do? So, and then with this, they explain that, for example, doing exercise is about the energy flows, and also the emotions and the fulfillment. And everything you do at the end of the day is to feel better. If you have something that you don't make you feel better, so maybe it's not something that you should go. So now, on that perspective, I was like, okay, so I do more exercise than before. So I'm catching with people all the time. And actually, at this point, I would say I'm living the life that I actually want to live. It's not exactly okay. I'm still in a lockdown sort of thing. I can't go out of the country. That's okay, no problem. But still internally, I'm fine. When everything happens, I'm gonna be even much better. So it's something that starts from within. So everything is inside out, no outside in. So, and that's what I found that is fulfillment. You could be super happy driving a Corolla or riding a bicycle and sleeping in a sofa as long as you're happy. But you don't need to have to drive a Mercedes, to live in a big house to be happy. So it's everything is from the inside. That's the main thing. But that doesn't mean that you should not go out of the edge and actually, you know what, I want to make tons of money. Yes, but why do you want to make a lot of money? That's the main question. To help people to buy this, to what? So that's one of the things that I realized this time. So, and it's just awesome.
Wow, isn't that crazy that 6 years ago you were saying that, wow, I don't feel fulfilled. And you're saying just 4 months ago you are realizing what fulfillment is? Like, don't you think
Yeah.
that's crazy how long that process is?
Yes, yes, and also the ideas. I mean, now I'm 30, and eventually when I turn 40, I would say, wow, I was very immature when I was 30, and then probably every decade is gonna be like that. So I, now, for example, something about the nutrition. So 10, no, 12 months or a year ago, no, 2 years ago, I would say 2 years. I was like, no, I'm never gonna stop eating meat or eggs. I need that. It's part of my life. It's energy. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, for example. So because I started, it is completely is. So now this year we start to be a plant-based diet, and it's just exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. You actually got more energy. It's just bias that people have. And also, you know, when sometimes we associate vegan or vegetarian with pickies vegans. So that's why people say, oh yeah, she'd be really picky. Oh no, it's annoying. But I am very like open. If I have a friend who is having beef, I know beef is delicious, eat it, no problem. But I don't eat it for personal values. So, and for health. So, but that's the thing. So everything changed. In 10 years, for example, I would have another idea. I was like, wow, I should change this in my life or do that. To always improving, always doing something, changing your life. So that's crucial actually.
So even though we can recognize that we're getting more mature and we can look back at ourselves and be like, wow, some of the things that I believed, oh my gosh. But do you think that some of your immaturity was actually good to get you to where you needed to be, like the next step?
Yes, of course, of course, of course, of course. Because if I wouldn't be, I mean, probably if I take that decision to if I mean if imagine I'm 30 living in Venezuela, and I might take the decision and say, oh no, I don't want to start again. Look, I'm probably comfortable and it's good here. So you need to push yourself out of the comfort zone and to do something to move forward. So, but that decision at that point was my younger me. So he didn't know what was good, and he did it. And now because of him, I'm here. So which is good. So luckily, I took that decision or that emotions, and I didn't have to think so much. I didn't have the truth. I mean, the full picture of what's going to happen. Luckily, I didn't. So otherwise, I wouldn't take the decision. Yes. So And yes, so that's wise. It's super cool. I was at that point. I was super wise. That's the only thing that I would say. I was way too wise, and now that kind of wisdom I'm having, I'm getting back. Sometimes you get again in your comfort zone. You get it you get really good, but that good is actually bad for you. So you need to try new things, explore new things. If you're very comfortable, make yourself uncomfortable and do something. So that's me now. So it's good.
I can definitely attest to the, getting too comfortable, or maybe getting to a place that you wish you wanted to be, and then deciding to hold on to it so tight because it took you so long, or you worked so hard to get it, that you don't want to lose what you have. But if you don't let go, you might not find that next better version of you, and or business or whatever.
Yes, yes, and that goes with money as well. So I learned that not long ago as well. So as I did a meditation with Deepak Chopra. It was on YouTube. Everybody can do it. It's 21 days abundance, and basically the full message there is that money is an energy. Money goes through you, from you, and to you. That's it. So you get money and you need to spend it and keep flowing. That's how it works. So, and I learned because this year we did good investment. Also, we sold the businesses and we got like some money back out of selling the business. And I was like panicking, like, wow, should I take this money and risk it? But what if I lose it? Well, you're gonna lose it anyway if you don't do anything. So because savings, I I mean, they're not getting interest, they're not getting anything. It's just in the bank, and you're helping the bank to make more money out of your money. So, and it's not easy to take because the person that does do it needs to understand that that's the way to go. So if you leave the money and you keep on saving, that money is going to be just saving. And in 10 years time, it's not gonna worth it wasn't worth nothing. So you need to take action. If you have some money like 10,000, 20,000 there, so well, invest in yourself first of all. Do a course or do something that actually help you to see things that you didn't see before. And then you grab that and whatever is left, you invest it. I don't know, could be stock market, could be house, probably not house, but it could be anything that you see like, okay, I can make another 1,000 or 2,000 out of this, and you keep moving. And then it's fun when you start doing that. It's become automatically. You need to be on that rhythm. And yes, so that's crucial for life.
So one thing I haven't heard you mention is going back to Venezuela.
Going, oh, well, this is a good question. I probably won't go back to Venezuela. Reason being, so my family they don't live there anymore. So, and to be honest, there is no main reason to go back because no family. What I thought Venezuela, what I remember that Venezuela was, doesn't exist anymore. So people change, street change, government change, rules change, everything change. So it's very unfortunate, but I won't go back, at least for the time being. So still traveling and understanding and see too many cultures to go back to Venezuela. Maybe no now, maybe 20 years, 10 years, who knows? But since I don't have any like attachment to Venezuela, there's no reason to go back.
Were there things that you gave up when you moved from Venezuela to Australia, like comforts, or um, I don't know. Maybe take that question as you will. Were there things that you gave up or are still giving up because you're not living in Venezuela?
No, actually, it was the other way around. So I had my job, and this was very interesting. So I had my job, and the economy in Venezuela is very crazy. It has been crazy all the time. So the society don't reward those who work hard. They reward those who are dodgy on behaviors or find like dodgy opportunities to take advantage of other people. So while I was working really hard, I couldn't even buy a car, for example. So, and transportation was a problem. I couldn't buy a house. Well, we bought an apartment, my sister and I, but it wasn't that actually, wow, it's something that it's an asset. No. And because of that fact, when I left, also when I was in Venezuela, I was like medium class, low medium class maybe. I wasn't rich, I wasn't poor, but it was like medium. I'm here, so I wasn't that wealthy. So, and then that's why I was like, look, this is the thing that I know I have. If everything goes wrong, I know where to go back. And that picture that I don't want it, so I went somewhere else to probably unknown, but it was the unknown for me was actually better than working 60-50 hours a week for not achieving nothing, no material. The only thing that I was achieving was after Friday I went for a drinks, and then I spent all my weekend wasted, so all like with hangover and stuff, and I was like, maybe there is something more that I should do with my life, and that's why I decided to leave, to left. So, and here I am.
Okay, so tell me about your favorite parts about living in Australia.
The diversity. The diversity is the best. So the opportunity, for example, last Saturday, we went for drinks with friends. So three, four were from Thailand, another one from Greece, Colombia, and Venezuela. So, but also the same day, I had a catch up with a friend from China. So it's not about the tags or the labels. It's about like having the opportunity to meet people, to see different point of views. So that's one of the things that I like the most, and also it allowed me to question myself, to question my belief, my bias, so my political, my religion, everything. So it's when you start looking different point of view of the world, because we live in a Pluto universe, not in our universe. When you start looking at all those different things that are happening, you say, okay, what if I look at different ways? I accept all of them, not reject this. And look, mine is better because it's better. No, maybe all are good. If you do like an integration of all of them, and then you deal with them. So it doesn't mean that you need to change who you are, but just to deal with them and be friends with them. That's one of the main things that I love about living in Australia. Also, people are really not laid back. The people are really calm and relaxed. So there's no rush. It actually help you too. It's like, why do you have to rush? Why do I have to add rush or stress or fear or emotions into the process? If the process is going to happen, it's going to happen anyway. So let's just make it easy. So make it happen, and that's it. So that's one of the things that I like about Australia. People are really calm, but people do their job and they do it really well. So they take the time to do it. So it's good.
You mentioned that you were able to see a lot of people's different point of views. Were there things that maybe you came from Venezuela thinking about a certain type of people, or beliefs that you decided to let go of and adopt new beliefs?
Yes. In Venezuela, you don't. Even though we had too many immigrants, like people from China, from Middle East, from Europe in Venezuela, but you don't really interact much with them, because in Venezuela, everybody's on the community. And the community are very close to only people from that community. they don't interact much. So for example, if you're European, you get married with an European, and all your friends are Europeans. And the same thing with Chinese. If you're Chinese in Venezuela, all your friends are Chinese, and there's no interaction with the society there. So, but in Australia, everybody interacts with everybody. And another thing about really good is over here, people don't care much about what job you do. So every job is a job. That's it. So if you are a cleaner, people respect you because you're a cleaner. If you are an executive, people respect you the same as you're an executive. So it's the idea of job as a social status is not very it's not very big in Australia, at least. I've seen people that live in Footscray, it's not a very wealthy suburb, and probably have friends that have a Ferrari and visit them. So it's normal. So that interaction among social status is normal in Australia, which is good. That's a beautiful thing to see.
You know what? I think I remember that now that you bring that up. Because in the United States, when you meet a person, the first thing you generally ask is, what's your name and what do you do? But I don't think that's a normal question in Australia when you first meet people. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Depends the people you met. So
Yeah.
So there are some people that probably they haven't adapted yet to this kind of point of seeing things, way to think to see things. So maybe. So I haven't. Well, one of the questions that you get is, "Hey, how are you? Where are you coming from?" Okay, so I coming from Venezuela, and then you have to go with the whole story. It's too long. So that's the main question that people ask. So, but it would be better if actually with the normal questions, it depends on also where you met people. So if you met people in a job, they probably ask you in a professional way, they probably ask you not directly what do you do, but not in a way of judging you. Like, what do you do? If you are if you're not saying to me, I won't talk to you. Not in that way. So I've seen it in a way of like, okay, what do you do? I do this. Okay, we could do something together. And that way, that's a different way. So, but yeah, it's just, I think in general, maybe people ask it, or probably people don't. It depends on the person too.
So besides, your language barrier, besides, having to learn English in Australia, what other challenges did you face or still face in Australia?
Uh, apparently, at the beginning was just the language, the way of living, maybe. So, and maybe the money in the beginning, but no, now there is no barrier. So people understand me, and I understand people when we're talking in language wise. So yeah, there is no barriers right now.
Okay, let me see what else I've written down. Okay. So I know you mentioned that, you haven't really thought about going to Venezuela and that it was unstable. Had you ever considered, making business in Australia, business in Venezuela now that you're an entrepreneur?
I did it for a little bit, but the thing is, it's about values. It's about values mainly. So unfortunately, in Venezuela, to do business now, you need to be unethical. So because the society just, as I said, reward before did it and now do it even more unethical behaviors. So because it's not part of what I want to do with my life, I would rather not do like any kind of business over there. For example, a friend of mine told me, like, I don't know, like a year ago, hey buddy, we should buy like car tires and send it from China for like $10 and then send it to Venezuela and sell it for $200. And I was like, look, people are making the salary in Venezuela is like $30 a month. So how am I gonna sell? And people buy it. Don't get me wrong, people buy it. But if I do that, how you say and helping that corrupt system to thrive. So if I don't want, I could make money, yes, but it's not about the money, it's about the value. So if I do it, yes, I could make like, I don't know, 10,000, but I could do 10,000 anywhere else, anyway. So you jump into, I don't know, a business and you made 10,000 there or anywhere. So it's just the limitations you have. So that's why I decided not to do anything in Venezuela, because it's, at this point, also I don't live there. So I don't know how things have changed. So I better not to. Yes.
Okay. So basically, since you got there, I know you mentioned that you had a sponsorship as a working visa. How long have you been an entrepreneur? Why did you go that route? And, how have you been able to live financially in Australia?
So I've been on this path properly for about 3 years, 2 years. And to leave, it was one with the apartments, that I was managing. Also, what else I was doing? Oh, yes, I also had a hospitality catering company. It was small. I mean, it wasn't too big, but I was doing like private parties to people. And that was one income there. I just like, because I did a course in Venezuela of bartending. So I did cocktails and stuff for private parties. It was so fun. It was way too much fun. And you didn't need like expertise to make cocktails. Just normal cocktails. People loved them and smile, and that's it. So, and people pay well. Also the apartments, then the cafe. What else? Yeah, on the top of my head, it's just those three things, I would say. And mostly like I live very, I like good things, don't get me wrong, but I live like very minimalistic in a way. So I don't buy expensive phones, or I don't buy expensive cars. Just I got a car that is reliable, it's good. I got my bicycle that's reliable, a house that I love. So that's it. That's how I survive.
What are the costs of living in Australia? Like, how much money do you think one should be able to, or how much does somebody have to spend to?
Well, that depends. That depends. So, let's check it out. Maybe 4,000 a month. Yes, go ahead. Yeah,
You said
4,000.
4 or 5,000?
Yes, yes. But again, I mean, I when I came to Australia, the first month, and actually many years, I didn't live on that. I probably was like 1,000. But if you want to, for example, have a house, you don't have to share with thousands of people, and also eat good food, like organic food, like good quality food. That's roughly what you spend. So good food, going out sometime with friends, and a house, accommodation. I would say 4 to 5,000. That's the average for two people. Sorry, for two people. Not for one. For two people. For one would be wow, it's a lot. But for two people, it's 5,000.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that, the minimum wage there is pretty high, like 16 Australian dollars an hour. Is that right?
I think it's 19, 20, something.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
No, but
Maybe it
I don't
is.
really know. I don't really know. So, but yeah, but look, it depends. So it depends. If you if you get seduced by numbers, maybe, but when you look at the reality, for example, like I give an example. So when you hire a machine learning expert in Australia, for example, you pay them 90 to 80,000 Australian dollars. That is about 60 or 70 something American dollars. But when you hire someone in the US, same position, is about 120 or 150,000 US dollars. So the difference in salaries are massive. So minimum wage is higher in here. So maybe a cleaner is going to make more money in Australia than a cleaner could make in the United States. A waitress maybe make more money in the US than a waitress in Australia. But professional things, I mean, if you are really in a key profession like IT or technology, or maybe medicine or lawyer, you might make more money in the US or Canada or Europe or Germany. So even though it's high, also the life is the cost of living is high too. So petrol costs you like 150 per liter, which is, I don't know, like 4 liters, $6 a gallon or something.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Right.
expensive. And the food is also a bit more expensive. An avocado costs $4. 350.
I wouldn't be buying any avocados.
Yeah, when you're vegetarian, you have to eat them. So that's part of the deal. But yeah, it depends. It really depends. So it depends on how you see it. It's good. It seems to be more money, but at the end of the day, it's probably the same or less that if you live in any other Western country.
Okay, so follow-up question. We're getting to the end now here. For people that are interested in moving abroad, whether it's Australia or anyone else, or specifically, Latinos, maybe somebody from Venezuela, do you have any advice or anything that you can share as far as experience with someone like that?
Open your mind. That's the main thing. So open your mind, and all the beliefs and bias that you have, you might have to question them. So I think that's when you change, it's about the mentality. When you change the mentality, mindset, everything changes. So it's not about money, it's just your mindset. Change your mindset or open your mindset and you're fine. You will be fine.
How would you advise somebody to open their mindset? They're like, okay, you know what? You told me, Alex, to open my mind. Like, give me a step by step. Like, what do I do to open my mind?
Wow, that's an amazing question. First of all, it's just reading books that are not typical books that you would read. So interact with people that you would not normally interact. So if you don't normally interact with people from a certain ethnic, try to. If you believe some people from certain countries are rude, try to meet someone from that country, and you will see what you find. And also try to meditate. Try to read books or things that actually open your point of view, to give you a different perspective of what reality or what actually is happening around you. And stop looking news. Stop watching news. Delete Facebook. Delete Instagram from your phone. Don't use it. It's not, even if it's for business, it doesn't work for business much. So depends, unless you are an expert and know how to do it, to target it. Otherwise, you're dealing more of your time for a couple of dollars that you're going to make for your business. So it's actually how you do it. And that's it. Maybe. I don't know if that answered the question.
Alex, if I'm not mistaken, I think you have Facebook.
Or
is this just for the people that need to open their minds?
No. I mean, delete the app. Delete the app from your phone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. delete the app, not the Facebook account, but the app, because also you don't get the notifications. Sometimes you don't want to see if, I don't know, Natasha posts a comment on someone else's post. Yeah, maybe, but maybe not. So it's, or someone else, a friend that you never seen, or someone that you don't know, post something. So, and it's better if you want to check your Facebook, you could do it on the computer, because on the computer it's less addictive than in the phone. So same thing with Instagram. If you want to check it from the desktop or from the browser, but not from the app itself. I changed my managed app. Delete the app, not delete your Facebook account. Yeah.
No, but I 100% agree, and I might need to follow that advice. But it is crazy how like you can be doing something and boom, it takes you away, and then boom, it takes you away. I've read that, and I don't quote me, but it said something along the lines of when you get distracted, it takes you on average like 21 minutes to actually like refocus. So can you imagine like one simple ding and you just can't get back into focus for another 21 minutes, but then another ding happens, you're just never focused.
No, and then you see like young people. I remember we had a barista at the cafe. She was like 21, 22. And she was saying, and then now you see more and more people or young people with attention, like they get distracted very easily. And my girlfriend, of course, she said, "Oh, I get distracted very easily." And look, many people, and I do too. But if you have a weakness, and we got into Facebook all the time, or we do something and then, oh, let me check my Facebook, boom, you're gone. So that's why it's about attention. It's about focus. So if you try to focus a little bit there, you miss it. So, and then the inspiration, whatever the energy you had, it's gone. So it's better not to do it. And also these apps, the app itself, not just the browser or the desktop browser. The app are made to make you are made by experts to make you addictive to it. So it's not just Alex that decided to create Facebook. It's experts, like people with high salaries that they know exactly how to trigger a person mentally or emotionally, or whatever reason, whatever way it is. So they know how to do it. So it's better not to actually say, oh, this guy is dodgy, It's just better to be out of the game, and that's it. It's better for you, I believe.
Great. Well, I think that's great advice. For your next steps, Alex, obviously your journey is not done. Where do you see yourself in the coming years? Or do you even think that far?
Well, honestly, one of the things I wanted to do this year was take a trip around Asia for 8 months, and see what happened. But obviously, it didn't happen. So my idea is actually why I'm gonna be in Australia, keep on growing this business, like the business that I have of artificial intelligence, having more people, getting more clients, and understanding more and more what's happening. So, and then move to Asia, live in Asia for a bit, and have the opportunity to then move to Canada. Actually, Canada to live is actually the place that I wanted to go, because it's cool, it's super cool to be living abroad. Yeah, you're having a lot of experience, but sometimes you're missing too much of your family. So my sister had two kids, and I've seen them like twice in 3 years. So, and there's no connection. Somebody's a birthday, a wedding, so you just miss it. So that's it. Well, you could try so, but you miss it. The connection is not there. So that's one of the things. So I personally, I love the experience that I have. I would keep on traveling, but I always want to go back to a home place, to a place that I have my family, that I can go in the night and have a beer with my dad and talk about stupid things, for example. So that's one of the things I really want to do. So, and yes, that's my next step, I would say.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I appreciate you so much for coming on today, and I really think that you're going to inspire somebody. Your story, especially, we don't. I haven't interviewed anybody from Latin America who's left their country. You're the first, so I think you'll definitely be super inspiring to everybody, but
Número
specifically,
uno.
those. Yes, numero uno. So I appreciate you giving just another perspective to our wannabe travelers.
Yes, good, good. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So it has been really good. It's good. So if so, if it helps someone, at least one person, it's done. It's done. So it's good. The purpose has been met. So it's good.
Awesome. Well, I also want to thank the listeners for joining us today, and really hope that you guys have gotten something out of it. And we'll just say bye for now.
Yeah. Bye for now.